Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to Crypto Mainly. My name's Lee. Number of subscribers creeping up, 281 subscribers. So brand new channel, guys. Please do like and subscribe. Turn on the bell. You can always unsubscribe if you don't like the content I provide. Hopefully that won't happen. I'm available over on Twitter at Crypto Mainly is my handle there, and my NFTs are available on OpenSea if you'd like to purchase one of those. Currently, I'm just doing a promotion at the moment where if you purchase one of the NFTs. It does entitle you to 6 months free access to my VIP Telegram group. However, if if you're not interested in the NFTs, you can always join the free Telegram group, which is in the link in the description below. But it's basically t.me / and then Crypto Mainly Public. But the link is in the description below. Okay, guys, so jumping straight into the content here. Okay, so this is obviously the Bitcoin chart we've been watching for a while now. And, we're basically just in a flat range, a very small, tight, flat range here. We have been for, several days now. So, it's difficult to, not to get frustrated and a little tired of the market and things when things are like this. But, I mean, this is what what I was looking for as an ABC correction down to the lows, which would fill the CME gap and test the actual lows of the range down here, which would also be like a retest of this descending support line if we do get down into this area here. Obviously, things have just been basically going sideways, and there's no resolution to this range at the moment. So until that happens, it's interesting. I mean, when you start to look at this area here, this is starting to look very similar to this area where we possibly may get a breakout and maybe a higher attempt. I'm going to be very cautious with this trade that I mentioned in yesterday's video, guys. And the reason being is the longer this goes sideways, we could get quite a good sort of attempt at a decent stab back up into the so to get a decent punch up. If we do get back above that price range there, which is 31,200 in the blue, so the dotted line here. If we do get back above there, let's say we get a breakout and we get we break through this long-standing sort of long-term descending resistance there. If we do get above it and get back above 31,200. And then come back down to retest, then that would be good signs that there's actually going to be bullish continuation rather than us closing the gap. It would make sense that we close the gap first while we're so close to it. Although that if you think about it logically, most people will be expecting this move down, and therefore most people will be shorting. There is a very high negative opening, negative funding rate at the moment, so people are more heavily short than they are long, which would suggest that we're more likely to actually get a move to the upside. So the market tends to do the opposite to what most people are actually expecting, and trades in the opposite direction. So I mean, you all know, guys, if you've been watching my videos over the last month or more, that I think that the lows are going to come sort of towards the end of this year. So the CME gap really is a bit of a meme at the moment. It doesn't need to get filled now. We could pop up and go all the way back up to 38, 36, 38, something like that. Eventually, over time, in the next couple of months and things, and then come back down towards the end of the year and fill this CME gap. At the back end of this year, doesn't necessarily have to be filled now. Although with the price so close to it, it would make sense that there is a that it does get closed now, but it doesn't have to happen. But there is a high possibility. I think it's between 92 and 97% probability that a gap will be filled at some point. But as I say, everyone is expecting this now. It could, take off, go up and close the big, huge, sort of nice CME gap above us, which is between, which the top end of that is around sort of just below 36,000. So we may just even forget about this CME gap, start to take off, go up, close the, the upper gap, and then end up closing the CME gap later in the year. It is possible. So just food for thought there, guys. But I mean, if you are getting a bit frustrated with the market, I just wanted to show you this really, which is if you look at this. So basically, in the last sort of 3 or 4 days, the Bitcoin has been ranging in like $1,000 range, and actually in the last 2 to 3 days, an even tighter range of sort of 1.2%. So the range is about $356 on an asset with, that trades for, $30,000 per coin. So, it's no wonder that people are getting a bit frustrated and but and finding the market. Just remember, guys, I've said about Wyckoff many times, and Wyckoff is designed to do exactly what it's doing. It trickles down, it gives false breakouts, it starts to really sort of drain people and get them really frustrated to the point where people just go, do you know what, the price just keeps coming down, it keeps frustrating, you get these false bullish breakouts and then collapses back down, and then it keeps going down and down and down, really sort of, and then sideways, and then it gets boring and it really gets frustrating. That is exactly what Wyckoff does. It frustrates people to the point where they just dump all their positions and say this is just going down and down and down, not interested anymore. They don't close all their positions, sell all their coins, and then the next thing is obviously it takes off and then leaves everybody behind. So just be prepared for that, guys. Okay, just having a look. Why are we going so sideways in such a small, tight range? If we look at the US, this is the Tether dominance, which we've been looking at over the last few days again. Move this trend line, this resistance line very slightly. But you can see, we're basically, what we don't want to see is us breaking above, this resistance, and particularly that thicker dotted blue line there. I mean, if we do start to get, let me just mark that on there actually, so that you can see the actual price that we're looking at. But if we do get, above that range high there, so that's at 6.33%. If we do break above there, guys, and we start to see this breaking to the upside, and there is an argument to say that this is a bull flag. We've had the move from the base there. We had a strange looking flag there, but nonetheless a strange looking bull flag. And we got the breakout. Now we get another bull flag. Are we going to get the breakout and continuation higher? It's possible, and this overall pattern is also would be considered a bullish pattern. So, concerns there, guys. If this also breaks to the upside, that means that people will be selling out of their positions in the market and into the stable coins, as we've spoken about time and time again on the videos previously. So we're going to have a look at Bitcoin dominance. This is another indicator that's of why things are going so sideways. There were some people looking at this as kind of lots of people I've noticed were looking at this as kind of in this sort of formation as a rising triangle. I couldn't see that myself, and thought that we were more in a rising wedge. And sure enough, it's more clear now that we are in this rising wedge. And as you can see, we got these three drives. So you've got a first drive, second drive, third drive, and as you can see, at each point it was losing momentum. So the drives were not as high. So first drive, second drive, third drive, and then we're getting the rolling over. What you'll also notice is that there's this type of pattern, which I'll just draw for you very quickly and scribble that on. So you've got this type of pattern here. So you can see that I've drawn the arrow here, which would be the measured move of the breakdown. So we've broken down. We're finding a little bit of support at the moment. But you can see that we're still creating lower highs currently. So the measured move from this small triangular pattern takes us down below this sort of the support line. So once we break below there, guys, I mean then we're as I've said previously, we're looking at a much bigger move, which is going to look more, as I've said in my videos before, like this, where we see the measured move of this breakdown is the bottom of the wedge. So the measured move, in actual fact, is going to be at the bottom of the wedge pattern. So I'll just mark that on there for you as well. So let's just mark that. I think I'm going to go on the conservative side, just on that candle body close there. So that will be the measured move of the breakdown. But I think that it's going to lead to a further move to the downside that we've been speaking about before on the channel. So I'll just zoom out and you'll see and recognize this chart and the fact that I was saying that we're going to be coming down to this resistance, to this support. Sorry, this support block here. Okay, so that's what I think is going to happen on the dominance, guys. Just have a look at Ethereum, Bitcoin. We've spoken about this a few times, guys. We were looking at a different chart to this, in more of sort of like an ascending wedge type pattern in previous videos, and I've sort of transferred my thoughts, as you'll know, onto this more of a range where you've got a high range, a mid range, and a low range. And I think that this is more likely going to play out. Actually, looking at it, and you can also see we haven't actually tested the lows. Sorry, we haven't actually tested the lows down here yet. So I think you could actually argue that this range may end up in time looking something probably more like that. Okay, so we'll actually probably see, some tests of this, these lows here, if you like. Doesn't necessarily have to happen, but you can see that we are getting a little bit, of a rolling over sensation here. So we may come down and actually test the very lows of this range before. As long as we stay within this range, I think that this is what's going to create. I think this is what's going to create this range here is going to be what creates our summer alt season. So as long as we're staying within this range, I think that that's what we're going to. That's what I'm expecting. That's what I'm looking for. Anything can happen, guys. Please, don't take my word for gospel. Anything can happen. I'm not a financial advisor, as you know. I have to say that. So this isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. I'm just simply giving you my views on what I think is going to happen. And one thing that you'll notice as well, guys, those of you that haven't noticed, is that if we do get this range play out here, you'll notice that we've got a couple of shoulders there. We've got a head at the top. We've got then a right shoulder, and then the second of the shoulders. So you've got the first shoulder here, okay, the head, and then you've got the two shoulders on the right side. So it's just basically called a complex head and shoulders pattern. So that could very well play out and look something like that when we look back at it in future. And just looking at the total, guys, this is my excuse my technical analysis on here. This is my scribbles from yesterday's video. But you can basically see that as long as we're not closing below these lows, we are still creating. We've got a series of lows here, and we're creating higher lows here. So as long as that continues, and we don't start breaking down on the total market cap, then everything's still looking reasonably good. And if you look at logarithmic curves and things like that for Bitcoin things, it is showing that we are at or very close to the bottom. And there are also lots of bottoming patterns on the altcoins as well. So I think we're doing okay at the moment. It is a bit frustrating. Let's just have a look at this chart here and see what this looks like. Okay, so this is the chart that we've been looking at for a long time now. Okay, on the channel. So yeah, I mean, I can still see us revisiting the lows in this pink area. It would make sense that we do. However, as I said, we don't have to come down into this area now. We could come up over to the top of the bull market support band and then come back down later in the year. And I still do think that that's the most likely scenario. I actually think that what we'll do in time is that we'll look back at this and we'll see something like this, where you've got this peak in the middle like that, and then you come back down and retest the lows maybe, and then we take off, come back down, and then we come back down. After excuse that, but if we'll bounce along, and then we'll come back down towards the end of the year, September, October, November time.